With your life.
Turn it over to the evaluators. For Scott's speech, first evaluator was Tracy.
So she gets up to really.
I want to start off by congratulating Scott on his first speech and to also to thank him for filling in for me because I could not do a speech this week. Scott did his first speech, so we just decided to title it I Am 40. So the first question is, what strong points does the speaker have? I think Scott, kind of, even when he joined the club, was always volunteering for roles and kind of jumped in and he did his speech a whole week early, so I think that if it was my first speech, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to step in. So I think that's a good thing. And you appear comfortable in front of the group, so that is a good start, too. I liked your use of the number 40 at the beginning. It was a great way to kind of bring us in. How well does the audience get to know the speaker? I think we got to know you very well. You started off with your career where you are now, and then we learned that you grew up, or you were born in Vietnam and then came here, and kind of what you went to school, getting your 2 degrees, going to USC to get your MBA, your interests. We learned a lot about you in a short amount of time. Did the speech reflect adequate preparation? I think it did. Towards the end, I think you relied on your notes a little bit more, and I think you forgot something out of order when you talked about going to the Peace Corps or Marine Corps. You should add that back in, and then after that, you kind of just seemed like you're trying to catch up. So I still think you're prepared, but just towards the end, you just got a little more nervous than at the beginning. I think you spoke clear and audibly. Most of us could, all of us could hear you. You definitely had an opening, starting with number 40. Your body is kind of who you are, and then conclusion talking about you're actually where your right should be, and then using those quotes. It asked to comment on your use of notes. Like I said, you didn't really use them at the beginning at all, and then I just noticed toward the end, and then you used them to use your quotes, which I think will be fine because you don't want to mess up on those. What could the speaker have done a little differently that would have improved the speech? I think when you started, you kind of said hello and then just jumped right into it. So maybe a pause or kind of clear separation of like welcome everyone and then here's my speech. And then also a transition. First you started talking about where you were at First American and then you just jumped right into your past. So maybe something, to see where I am now, let me give you a little bit of background information just to make your speech a little bit stronger. And what I like about the presentation, I like that we learned a lot about you, used humor and the quotes, and so I think overall a great speech, and I'm excited to hear the next one. Thank you.
Our next evaluator is going to be the one, the only, the Lori.
Thank you. And you always look forward to my
Oh yeah, Karen, brace yourself.
Karen, I always look forward to your speeches because you are just a wealth of energy, and I really noticed the first thing you did, you moved this podium away because I bet you were going to be using the stage. The one thing was whether it was the Toastmaster didn't, I'm going to get Dan, the Toastmaster didn't read the objectives of your speech, and just to make sure everybody understands that, it was to persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas to take some action, appeal to the audience's interest, use logic and emotion to support your position, and avoid using notes. So that's a lot to think about when you're giving a 5 to 7 minute speech. Persuasive speech, it was a really great topic. Resolutions to a goal, it made me think of how many times I make resolutions and how many times I actually complete them. And I think you opened your speech by giving us some examples and even some data as to how often people do not reach their goals. Then you also gave us information as to maybe is because they don't have a time set or any specific information. And it made me think of SMART goals, where SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. So I'm thinking to myself, SMART goals, and kind of got off on, what does the SMART stand for? I had to look that up. But it really made me start thinking about goals and the proper way of setting goals. So you were using your persuasiveness to have us think and actually create some goals that we can attain. And one of the things you used was a really good visual aid where you took your example of your goals to complete your competent communicator and your competent leader within a reasonable amount of time. You want to get that done in a year, and you showed us how you had done your 9 speeches so far. You had 1 left to go. And then also your comment leader, you had a few things that were checked off and a few things, but it made me notice that you had a measurement, that you had a certain amount of speeches that you needed to finish in a given time period. I thought you did also a great job at addressing the audience using humor and quotes. You moved back and forth among, we call this the stage, and back around the stage without the lectern in the way. You didn't feel locked in, and you came over and used your example of the visual aid, and I thought that was great. I think that you will have 1 more to go to get your CC, and I think you won't have any issue with that. As far as having all of us pulling us in, I think one of the things you could have done was given us like a 1-sheet handout, a worksheet of how to attain your goals. Give us the example of write your goal down and the time, and something like that that we could actually use, so we would be hooked in and actually be persuaded to use your examples and information that you provided. Other than that, I thought you did a wonderful job. It was a good 9th speech, persuasiveness, and I look forward to your 10th one and congratulating you on getting your common communicator.
Thank you. Thank you. Great evaluation as always. So we'll move into the other evaluations. For the timer, Edwin, how did you do?
Okay, Scott's midlife crisis was 6 minutes 44 seconds.
Good job.
Karen, New Year's resolution, 5 minutes 56 seconds. Sorry, I have a retained braces, so listen a little bit. For the evaluation, Tracy's evaluation of Scott was 2 minutes 30 seconds. Lori's evaluation of Karen was 3 minutes 6 seconds. Icebreakers, Jennifer was 1 minute 8 seconds. Andrea was 1 minute 4 seconds. Olympia was 1 minute 59 seconds. Tracy was 1 minute 28 seconds. Scott was 53 seconds, actually. Stephanie was 1 minute 26 seconds. And Sandy was 1 minute 51 seconds.
Nice, man. Excellent.
For our word use today, Andrea, how are you?
We had 3 users, Karen, and Tracy.
Scott used it.
Oh, sorry, Scott. And Scott.
You did.
Bad place to be.
Thought I was listening. And then as we go through the other speakers, I'll just say less than 5 or more than 5 of the word. So Dan, I caught less than 5 ums. Edwin, less than 5 ums. Scott, more than 5 ums, more than 5 ahs. You were also using so and as the clutch word. And was another grammatical error you had. Karen, I only caught 1 but I noticed more than 5 so's. Seems like that's your clutch word. Chat, I caught only 2 ums. Jennifer, less than 5 less than 5 ums.
In a minute.
Good job. It was 3 total, so that's really good. Rico, just a few ahs and ums, and your clutch word is so. Tracy, more than 5 ums, and your clutch word was but and like. Stephanie, really good. You were using like quite a bit. And Sandy, just a couple ums, ahs, and you had and so like and like as your clutch words. And Lori, I only caught 1 Everybody did great.
Nice. The general evaluator?
Okay, so the meeting started on time. I believe it actually started a minute early. Was there someone at the lectern podium at all times? Yes. Was the meeting topic for today interesting? I thought so. It was interesting, informative and fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was fun.
Were there new members and guests? No. Did the Toastmaster give time to introduce the regular attendees? Yes. Did the Toastmaster interact with the audience? Yes. I think Dan did a very good job.
Thanks.
What would you say were the positive aspects of the meeting? Well, we had a good turn up and we had an icebreaker speech because we don't get to see that every day. I thought it was really good. What would you recommend that could be improved for the next meeting? Maybe get in a few guests, but other than that, probably maintain the status quo. It was fun. The rating, I think I would give a 9.
Nice.
We'll flip it back over to our president, Stephanie.
Yay.
That's right, Ann.
All right, great meeting, guys. I'm going to hop on Karen's bandwagon and say make those goals and stick to them and make them smart, as Lori says. So, yeah, great job. Anyone have anything? Any pieces of order?
We have a date for our executive speaker series.
Oh,
It will be on March the 6th. The setup will be from 11:30, but the speaker will speak. It's Jennifer Anaya.
Anaya, there you go.
And she's excited to do it. She jumped in right away. We're gonna need some volunteers. We'll probably buy some cookies and have, I don't know, refreshments. And I'm gonna need some volunteers. Now, I'm gonna have to line all this up prior to my vacation. I'm going on vacation the last 2 weeks of February, back on the 2nd. So I'll be sending things out early. I'll have an email blast, and somebody will have to tell me how to get corporate communication to shoot that out a few days prior to get some folks interested in coming. And I look forward to have we'll have a sign-up sheet, so if you wanted to participate, and I do believe if you want to get CL credit for Competent Leader Book credit for that, there is an event, to assist in an event, planning an event for the club.
Yep.
So I'll be able to sign you off on that, or Amy will sign you off on that. Any questions?
Looking forward to it.
All right. It'll be at the floppy disk, by the way.
Has anyone not been to did anyone not see Kirk or wasn't around for that? Everyone, okay. I'm not
good.
going to be here for that one. I'm on too.
Oh, you're not going to?
Bummer. Any update on our speech contest, Karen? Our club contest? Do we have a date for that?
Oh, the 27th, the week
of
before they get
February.
one.
Okay, so February 27th, we're going to have a contest just in here, so it'll be like a regular meeting, just with like all of us. So it's going to be like a little fun, a little different. It'll be an internal contest, and the winners can go on to the division at that point? Or is it
Area.
Area.
And the
first.
area contest is March 15th at Emulex in the evening. Or no, actually it'll be in the afternoon or whatever. So it's part of 4 areas are going to come together. Ours is A1, and there'll be 3 other areas. And it's really fun to go to those because you get to see some really good speakers. This year, this contest, the theme is International Speech Contest and Table Topics. So if you like Table Topics, now's your chance to really shine and see if you can move through and earn a few little trophies. So I invite everybody to become involved in that. It's a lot of fun to participate in the contest.
Anything else? All right, good meeting, guys. Thank you.